East Carolina Athletics and ISB Sports presents The Skip Holtz Show. The Skip Holtz Show is brought to you in part by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the ECU Pirates. By Wachovia. With Wachovia, if your identity is ever stolen, fraud specialists will work closely with you to help restore it. And by Old Dominion Freight Line, your transportation solution provider. And now with Coach Skip Holtz, the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles.
Welcome to the Skip Holtz Show. This is becoming a habit. The Pirates winning in overtime last week against UCF and then at home on homecoming as the Pirates come up with the victory. A great win for the Pirates over Marshall. You have less hair, more gray hair. What is it, Coach?
I'll tell you what, it's wearing me out. Somebody said, do you want to be a kicker in your next life? I said, I certainly don't want to be a football coach. I know that much. And it's a habit that we don't want to get used to. I mean, with getting in these overtime games. I can get used to the habit of winning, but I don't want to get in these overtime games. And I was really proud of the way this team played. It was a great team win, and Marshall's a very good football team. Obviously, they were 3-1 in the division, and came out here, and I thought they really played well. I thought, kind of controlled the line of scrimmages, but I thought the defense played a great game outside of two plays, where they gave up the big play when we were backed up and then the big one for the touchdown. But offensively, Pat Pinckney did a good job, and we worked really hard on our passing game this week and made a lot of improvements in it, but just got to be able to run the ball a little bit better than we did tonight. But overall, just a great win. A lot of things that we can correct, a lot of mistakes that were made, and we got to get a lot better as a football team. And we still got 3 really competitive football games to go in the league.
I know you like to win games like this, don't you? 19-16 last week, 13-10. A lot of hard-hitting defense, low-scoring games. You like this?
I mean, this is football. This is the hard, grinded out. This is football. And when you look at all the injuries that we've been through and so many of the guys that are all of a sudden out, the skill guys that are out, this is the way we feel like we need to win. Now, we certainly aren't trying to score under 20 points. I promise you, we're trying to score points. I'd take 40 points. I'd take it right now, but we're not trying to, score low. But when you've got a defense like that behind you, that's behind you playing hard-nosed, hard-hitting football, it's kind of like the Big Ten era. It's the 3 yards in a cloud of dust and punt it away and play great special teams and just play a solid football game. And with the number of injuries that we've had, this is kind of what it's boiling down to. But great teams find a way to win close football games. That's what they do. And that's what last year's team did, and that's what this team has started to do. They're really coming together, and the attitude and the morale and the way they're playing right now, I'm just really proud of them.
We'll come back, and we'll look at those first half highlights right after this timeout. Joe and Coach, we talked about it going into the game, the 2 best defenses in Conference USA, and then you kind of lined up all the stats. So even. And yes. I think we all expected a close game, didn't we?
Yeah, well, when you look at them, it's almost like in offense, they were 6th, we were 7th. Then the other one, we were 7th, they were 6th, or 4-3, or 8-9, or however it works. 2 very competitive football teams, 2 very equal football teams coming out here. We're both 3-1, coming into here, playing at home. I'm just really proud of our players. That's a very good football team we played, and I think Mark Snyder's done a really nice job there, and I think they're going to continue to be good down the road.
Let's now go to those first half highlights. 43,515 on homecoming, the 7th largest crowd in the history of Pirate football, and we pick up the action. Marshall with the football coach, and how about Emmanuel Davis coming up with a pick?
Emmanuel Davis has just done so many good things, picking that ball off last week in overtime, and then he turns and steps up here and just turns and makes a great interception, and then makes a great return to go along with it, and that gives us great field position on the 49-yard line. Great play for a freshman.
Pirates get the ball back, and then Devon Drew's becoming quite a weapon for you.
Devon Drew is a weapon here, and he is completed here by Patrick Pinckney for 13 yards to him. And this is good, and this takes us kind of down to the 29-yard line.
Patrick Pinckney has good wheels. We know that when he's on the field, and he picks up 9 yards here.
Yeah, he just does a nice job of reading the end here, and he pulls the ball and turns and goes out around the left end and turns us, gets down there in good field position down to the 8-yard line.
Pirates then have it at the 2-yard line, 2nd down and goal situation. Whitley goes in, but unfortunately it comes off the board.
Yeah, I mean, they called us for an illegal chop block here on 81, and he was coming in towards the ball and turn and cut on the corner, and turns and negates a good play by the left side of the offensive line here, getting some push and getting Norman Whitley into the end zone.
So you have to settle for the field goal, and Ben Hartman hits this one.
Yeah, that's hard when you go from 7 points to being on the 17-yard line, but Ben Hartman turns and steps up, does a nice job, and puts the ball through the uprights.
Pirates get the ball right back, and here's a nice pass play from Pinckney to Alex Taylor.
Alex Taylor's been doing some good things for us, and we talk about some of these guys stepping up, and here he turns and goes for 21, and this again gets the ball across the 50-yard line to the Marshall 49.
And the Pirates set up a field goal attempt, a long one, 51 yards for Ben Hartman. You must have felt that he could hit him from 51.
You know, and I turned and asked him on third down. We were talking on 3rd and 9 on whether to run it to get a little bit closer. He said, Coach, I can make it from right there. And I said, well, then let's throw it and try and get the first down. And so we throw it, and he turns and puts it out 51 yards and does a great job of driving this ball.
It's a field goal game. Pirates lead 6-3. East Carolina comes back with the ball now, Coach, and T.J. Lee, 12 yards on this reception.
Yeah, I mean, T.J. Lee has been doing some really good things. I hate that he got hurt later in the course of this game, but been doing some really good things, and here picks up the first down for 12 yards.
Pirates with the football, and you come back here. This is a big pass play. 33 yards here to Devon Drew.
Yeah, this was really big. I mean, this was, again, from midfield, and Devon Drew picks up 33 yards and squirts it all the way down to the 16-yard line. Does a really good job right here, which turns and gives us a chance here right before half.
And then the pass play to Devon Drew again. Boy, what a big touchdown here, Coach, right before halftime.
You know, Devon has really been stepping up, and you can see he's the single receiver over here on the right side, and he just runs a great route, turns and gives a hard inside move, and then puts the ball up. Patrick puts the ball up and does a nice job of catching the ball in his hands for the touchdown.
Marshall got the ball back with 12 seconds to go. Guys playing with great intensity, enthusiasm, and energy, and you get a sack here to end the first half.
Yeah, C.J. Wilson. I know C.J. Wilson's going to be fired up. He's playing for those helmet stickers. He gives me a hard time every day about him. So really proud he gets the sack here right before half.
Pirates lead 13-3 at halftime. Welcome back to the Skip Holtz Show. What can you say about this defense, Coach? I mean, only 3 points on the board in the first half for Marshall. They're coming off 2 great games. I mean, they're playing great.
Oh, they really are, and we've kind of got that bend but don't break mentality, and some of the senior leaders, and not only guys like Pierre Bell and J.J. Millbrook and Leon Best and Zach Slate, but right now you look at some of these juniors. Look at the way Nick Johnson's playing, and Van Eskridge and C.J. Wilson and Jay Ross, and some of these juniors are really stepping up and doing a nice job. And then we've got the addition of some young guys. Cliff Perryman is a true freshman stepping in and playing really well. Emmanuel Davis, again, steps up huge on defense, and he's just a football player. And some young guys, and it's a good mix right now. Some upperclassmen leadership and some underclassmen that are really stepping up and doing a great job. But the leader right now of that defense is Pierre Bell. And Pierre Bell for the last couple of weeks has been a different player. Emotionally, mentally, physically, he is just playing with a heart and a soul and energy right now that's fun to watch him play.
They all had to step up in that second half and also in the overtime period. Let's roll now those highlights. Marshall gets the football to start the second half, and here's our man again, Darius Marshall, number 5. He was a handful, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, and he's one of the few backs that's gone over 100 yards against our defensive football team, and he went for about 125 today and picks up 17 yards here as they start to put a drive together here in the third quarter and kind of take it and move it down the field.
And the tight end, Cody Slate, always seems to play well against the Pirates, and pass complete here for 7 yards and the touchdown.
Yeah, Cody Slate's a real talent, and they turn, and Mark Can, the freshman, turns and gets the ball to Cody Slate for 7 points, and this was a good way for Marshall to start the second half. They turn and take about a 8-play drive and take it down the field, and they're able to put points on the board.
Marshall misses the extra point, though. It's a 13-9 ball game. Pirates come back now offensively, and you get Dwayne Harris the football.
Yeah, well, Dwayne Harris trying to get him a little bit involved. It's nice to have him healthy off that shoulder from last week, and he turns and goes for 14 yards here.
Coach, I think we're seeing the freshman grow up too. Joe Womack with a nice catch here for 9 yards.
Yep, Joe Womack picks up 9 yards, and Pat does a really nice job of turning and getting the ball out there to him. And Joe Womack, I think, is going to be a really talented player. He's a quality young man, and the experience and reps that he's getting right now are invaluable for his future.
And then on the 4th and 1, you decide to go for the field goal here, and Ben Hartman gets it from 21 yards.
Well, we had turned and we had taken the ball and we had driven it down the field just as they did in the third quarter. And only being up 4 points, I thought it was really important that we get 7 points on the board and we get up a 7-point lead by putting the 3 points on the board. So just really proud of the way that they turned and came out in the second half, and the offense answered the challenge after Marshall had put points on the board.
And that is a 7-point difference. East Carolina leading Marshall 16-9. We start play now in the fourth quarter, and we see Can go to work. They're behind. They're trying to throw the football here, but I'll tell you what, Coach, your defense playing great and coming up with a big play here for a loss of 2.
Yeah, this was 3rd and 8, and this is the beginning of the fourth quarter, and 3rd and 8, and we've got that 7-point lead and trying to hold on to it, and really nice job here by Chris Maddox and Emmanuel Davis again.
Pirates get the ball back on offense, and T.J. Lee, this was a big one. This was the longest pass play of the game. Pinckney to T.J.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful route by T.J. Lee and a great pass by Pat Pinckney, really dropping the ball in the bucket. You can see we just go after the two backs, a little play-action fake, and then lay it up over the top. And this goes for huge yards and gets us all the way down to the 32.
Pirates then have it, a second down and 14 at the Marshall 20, and unfortunately the turnover hits here.
Yeah, you know, with a 7-point lead, you're really going in at this point to turn and put the ball game away, and we just turn and we put it on the ground, and something that can't happen, and it's something that our running backs have done a pretty good job of most of the season. But Norman Whitley just lays it on the ground here, and this was a key play.
So now you turn it back to your defense again. I'll tell you what, late in this game and in the overtime, Zach Slate really came up big for you.
Well, I'll tell you, when he started really peeling his ears back and coming off that edge, both him and C.J. Wilson, they're playing so well for us at the corners right now. I'm really proud of Zach Slate and to see the progress that he's making.
Pirates get the ball back again. You're trying to give the ball to Brandon Simmons to pick up some of these tough yards.
You know, it's 3rd and 2 here, and all of a sudden you give it to your biggest back, one of your most physical backs, and try and see if you can turn and throw it up in there and get 2 yards. And unfortunately, we just came up about half of a football short and end up having to punt the ball because it just wasn't worth the risk and reward.
Had to punt the ball away, looking for a good one here, and Matt's had some better efforts, hasn't he?
You know, he definitely has. Matt has had some better efforts, and he has a 15-yard punt here. And he said Matt can be his own worst enemy sometimes because he's so hard on himself, but just unfortunate, and all of a sudden they start with great field position at our 40-yard line.
Yeah, Thundering Herd with a short field to work with now, and they take advantage of it as Can, the freshman quarterback, and there he is again, number 85, Cody Slate.
Yeah, and the clock's got 1:20 on it, and it's just unfortunate because our defense had played so great, and offensively we had the 2 3-and-outs and turned and gave them the opportunity to turn and put this together. And Cody Slate, again, does a really nice job. It clears the middle down the middle of the field, and Mark Can turns and throws a strike there, and all of a sudden this makes it a tie game.
Yeah, brand new ball game, 16-16. Pirates still have a chance here in the 4th quarter as Pinckney throws this one complete to Norman Whitley.
Well, with 1:14, with having the kicker that we do, I felt really comfortable where we are. We do this 2-minute drive a couple times a week, and Patrick does a nice job here just turning and taking Norman Whitley, and this one goes complete for 29 yards, and all of a sudden we're at midfield, and there's some life in the team.
And the redshirt freshman steps up. Big catch here for Daryl Freeney.
Yeah, this was really big catch. This is 3rd and 5 situation, and Daryl comes from the right side, and Pat just throws a bullet right in there into his sternum, and he makes the catch and turns and gets the first down and picks up some 11 yards right here.
So now you have a chance to win it in regulation. Here comes Ben Hartman in from 42 yards out here, Coach, and he's been money just about every time in this situation, but hooked this one just a little wide left.
Yeah, he just hooked it left. Last week he had a 47 and a 49-yarder, and both of them just hooked out of the picture for him, and just really unfortunate with all the game winners that he's kicked that he just pulls this one a little bit to the left.
So here we go, overtime, 16-16. Marshall runs 3 plays. They get their field goal kicker in here, and he misses from 42.
Yeah, well, the defense had really just come up and come up huge. I mean, and turn and force a number of 3 incomplete passes and make them kick a long field goal. And just, again, a great job by our defense. They played great all night, and they just missed a field goal. And all of a sudden you look at it as an offensive standpoint, you just need a field goal on the board to win.
And you can see the momentum then really shifted to East Carolina. This huge crowd got into it here, and Pinckney with a nice pass to Dwayne Harris. He hurdles this guy, as we'll see here. I thought he was going to take it in the end zone.
Yeah, well, he just turns and would throw the little bubble out there to Dwayne Harris and put the ball in space. And sometimes that's just like a toss sweep when you can get the ball out there and you're looking for 4 yards and getting it into your best player's hand in space. And you can see the athleticism of Dwayne Harris, and they turn and finally drag him to the ground for a 13-yard gain.
So here comes number 30 again with a chance to win it. Redemption time, his second opportunity.
I said to him when he was running out on the field, surely Ben Hartman can't miss 2 of these. We put the ball right in the middle of the field on 3rd down, just turning, setting it up after that big gain on 1st down, and Ben Hartman puts the thing right through the uprights. And the only thing he wanted to know was if he made the field goal, was he going to be the Blackbeard Award winner as a special team player of the game? And so I made a promise I got to keep.
Ben Hartman, the hero again this week. East Carolina wins it over Marshall in overtime, 19-16.
Marshall's got a great defense. They're a great team, solid team. It was like a Big Ten matchup out here. It was just all defense. But, we fought hard, and guys gave me another chance in overtime.
As a whole unit, secondary linebackers and D-line, probably we just were so physical, man. Especially the last couple of weeks, we just been hitting hard. we've been going hard, man. And I think that's where our mentality it changes. Like even the offensive mentality, they come out and try to be just as physical as us. So.
Winning regular, hey, we'll take a win, however it comes. Good, bad, ugly, sad, it don't matter. We'll take a win.
Skip Holtz and Ben Hartman have a great rapport, and you can see that on the football field, especially when the game is on the line. It happened 2 consecutive weeks now. It happened in the victory over Marshall at home on homecoming. It also happened the week before when Ben Hartman kicked the field goal to win it in overtime at UCF. He's had quite a career.
Ben Hartman is no stranger to the big kick. Twice he kicked East Carolina to victory on the game's last play last season against North Carolina. And then, of course, in the Hawaii Bowl against Boise State. That's why Skip Holtz had no problems calling on number 30's number in overtime against UCF.
I got a lot of confidence in Ben Hartman. He's been kicking extremely well for us this year since he's come back, and and that's why we turned and just said, just run it 3 times and give him a chance to turn and put the ball through the upright.
I'm kind of upset with my performance, though. I mean, I had 2 kicks earlier that are makeable kicks, in my opinion, and I mean, I struck them well, struck them clean. It just, I don't know, it was like a little gust from the gods, but they just kind of pushed outside to the left a little bit.
Despite the 2 misses, Ben knew his coach had confidence in him. He even continued the tradition started last year by Coach Holtz. He told him a joke before the big kick.
I got a good little joke out of him, and I thought it was really witty on his part. With it being Halloween, he asked why the skeleton didn't cross the road. And I said, I have no idea. And he said he just didn't have the guts. So, you know what? I mean, at least he got witty with Halloween and everything. And then went in, he's a great young man. He's a good kid.
I was running up to everybody kind of towards the game when I thought, well, dang, I mean, I might get a chance to hit a game winner. And I don't have a joke in store. And I know he's always going to ask me, well, what joke you got now? So I think I had to run to Pretzel, our backup punter, and ask him. I was like, Pretzel, give me a joke, give me a joke. And he was like, you remember that one from the Pirate Rants? And I was like, oh, about the skeleton? He goes, yeah, tell him that one. So I told him that one. Of course, he's always got a corny comment to tell me after I made the kick and stuff. But I mean, it's just good that we get out here with the W.
And that, Ben Hartman says, is no joke. For the Skip Holtz Show, I'm Brian MEADOR.
When you get to this part in November and you're in contention for an East Division championship, every game is big right on through the end of the month. And Southern Mississippi, we talk about it every year. Skip, they're the old nemesis for the Pirates going back in this series to the early 50s. There are always wars when these 2 teams play, aren't they?
Yeah, there really is. And right now they're under new leadership and they kind of got their feet underneath them. And we know that's a hard place to play. Going down there is a tough place to play, and the additions they've made in the end zone to enclose that one end is only going to make it tougher. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. They have a really good football team, kind of getting back into the flow now with 3 games remaining. Really excited about some of the challenges that we have. We've got, still got some injuries. I know TJ Lee's going to be out, and I mean that's going to be a hard pill to swallow right now with some of the other problems that we've had. But some of these guys are going to have to step up, and these are the situations we have, and we're going to have to pick up the running game a little bit more. And just like I said, I'm just excited to really get into these final 3 conference games.
It'll feel different going against Southern Miss this year. Jeff Bauer, you kind of knew what you were going to get with him, but now Larry Fedor's the coach. They've changed a lot of things down there.
They have changed a lot of things, and they're playing probably much more wide open. And they've still got some great players. When you look at Nelson and Fletcher and so many of the athletes that they have, but they're playing really solid football right now. And he's a great football coach, and I know they're under new leadership right now. And I think that it's when you first start the football season, it's a little bit different. You're getting acclimated, and you're getting adjusted, and you're learning a new offense and defense. But they're really starting to play better this second half of the season.
How good does it feel on November 9th to pick up the paper and see you're in first place in the East Division?
It's great, but that wasn't our goal. We didn't set our goal for November 9th. I don't remember, sitting down and setting that date. We kind of said towards the end of the year, and I think the important thing right now is we got to keep our hands on the wheel and stay focused on the road, and we just got to keep our nose to the grindstone and keep plugging along with what we have to do. And if anybody should have learned that lesson this year, it should have been us.
Okay, Coach, another great win. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
That's the head coach of the Pirates, Skip Holtz. Join us again next week on Report from Hattiesburg. Have a good week, everybody.